Welcome back to Bookish English. And today, I want to ask you something very honest. Why is it that even after learning English for so long, you still feel stuck when it is time to speak? Why does your mind go blank in simple conversations? Why do words disappear at the exact moment you need them the most? Now listen carefully, because this part is very important. What if I tell you that the problem is not your grammar? The problem is not your vocabulary. And the problem is not your confidence either. The real problem is something much deeper. Something you do every single day without realizing. You are thinking in the wrong way. Yes, you are trying to speak English, but your brain is still working in another language. And because of that, your speaking becomes slow, heavy, and stressful. But here's the exciting part. The moment you fix this one thing, everything starts changing. Your thoughts become faster. Your sentences become easier. Your confidence starts growing naturally. So stay with me till the end. Because today, you are not just going to learn English. You are going to reprogram the way your brain uses English in real life. And trust me, this can change everything for you. Chapter 1. Welcome back to Simple Spoken English. And today, I want you to just relax for a moment. Do not rush. Do not think too much. Just listen carefully. Because what you are about to understand today can slowly start changing the way you see English forever. And I am not saying this to motivate you. I am saying this because this is the truth most learners never hear clearly. Now listen. There is something very strange happening with millions of English learners around the world. Maybe it is happening to you as well. You study English. You learn grammar rules. You remember vocabulary. You watch videos. You even understand a lot when someone speaks. But when it is your turn to speak, something feels wrong. Your mind becomes slow. Your thoughts become unclear. Your confidence disappears. And suddenly, even simple sentences feel difficult. And inside your mind, one question keeps repeating again and again. Why is this happening to me? Now, this is the moment where most people blame themselves. They think maybe I am not good enough. Maybe my English is weak. Maybe I need more grammar. Maybe I need more words. Maybe I need more time. But here is the honest truth. The problem is not your effort. The problem is not your intelligence. And the problem is definitely not your ability to learn English. The real problem is something much deeper, something much simpler, something that most people ignore. The real problem is this. You have learned English, but you have not trained your brain to use English in real time. Yes, this is very important. So listen again carefully. You know English, but your brain is still thinking in your own language first, and then it is trying to translate everything into English. And this one habit is silently slowing down your speaking again and again. Let me explain this in a very simple way. Imagine someone asks you a very normal question. What did you do today? Now, what should happen? You should answer quickly. Maybe you say, I worked, I studied, I went outside, something simple, something natural. But what actually happens for many learners? Inside your mind, your native language starts first. You think in your own language. Then you try to convert that thought into English. Then you check grammar. Then you search for words. Then you try to arrange the sentence. And by the time you are ready to speak, the moment is already gone. This is why your speaking feels slow. This is why your confidence breaks. This is why your mind becomes blank. Not because you do not know English, but because your thinking process is not in English. Now here comes a very powerful realization. Fluency does not begin from speaking. Fluency begins from thinking. Yes. This is the point where everything starts changing. Because if your thoughts are not in English, your speaking will never feel natural. You will always feel pressure. You will always feel delay. You will always feel hesitation. And this is exactly why many learners stay stuck for years. They keep learning more and more, but they never change the way their brain works. They collect knowledge, but they do not build reaction. They understand English, but they cannot live in English. Now I want you to imagine something very clearly. Imagine you are talking to a friend in your own language. Do you think about grammar rules before speaking? No. Do you translate your thoughts? No. Do you wait for perfect sentences? No. You just speak. You just react. You just express. That is natural communication, and that is exactly what you need to build in English as well. But here is the mistake. Most learners try to jump directly into speaking without changing their thinking. That is why speaking feels heavy. That is why speaking feels like a test. That is why speaking feels stressful instead of natural. So today, we are not starting from speaking. We are starting from thinking. Because if you fix your thinking, your speaking will automatically start improving. Now do not worry. This does not mean you have to become perfect in English thinking from day one. No, that is not the goal. The goal is to slowly train your brain to stop depending on translation and start creating simple thoughts directly in English. And this is where your real journey begins. Not in your book, not in your classroom, not in your notes, but inside your mind. Because your mind is where every sentence is born. Your mind is where every word begins. Your mind is where confidence either grows or breaks. Now let me tell you something very honestly. At first, this may feel strange. You may feel slow. You may feel uncomfortable. You may feel like your English is very small. That is completely normal. That is not weakness. That is training. Because when you start thinking in English, you are not just learning language. You are building a new habit. And every new habit feels uncomfortable in the beginning. But slowly, something beautiful starts happening. Your thoughts become faster. Your reactions become quicker. Your fear becomes smaller. And your confidence starts growing naturally. And one day, without even realizing it, you will notice something powerful. You will stop translating. You will start responding. You will stop overthinking. You will start expressing. And that is the moment where English stops being a subject and starts becoming a part of your life. So remember this line very clearly. This is very important. If you change the way you think, you change the way you speak. This is not just a lesson. This is the foundation of everything you are going to learn next. Because from here, step by step, we are going to train your brain to think in English naturally, simply, and confidently. So stay with me. Stay focused. Because what comes next is not difficult. It is simple. It is practical. And it is something you can start using from today itself. Chapter 2. Now let us move to the next step. And this step is very powerful, but also very simple. So listen carefully, because if you truly understand this, your English can start improving from today itself. Not tomorrow, not next week. Today. In the last chapter, you understood one important truth. Fluency begins from thinking, not from speaking, not from grammar, not from vocabulary, from thinking. But now comes the real question. How do you actually start thinking in English? And here is where most learners make a big mistake. They think, I should think in perfect English. They try to create big sentences. They try to use difficult words. They try to sound advanced even inside their own mind. And because of that, they get stuck again. So let me tell you something very clearly. This is very important. You do not need to think in perfect English. You need to think in simple English. Yes, this is the real secret. Not perfect. Simple. Because when you try to think perfect English, your brain feels pressure. It becomes slow. It starts checking grammar. It starts searching for words. It starts judging every sentence. And slowly, your thinking becomes heavy. And when your thinking becomes heavy, your speaking becomes impossible. This is exactly why many learners feel tired even before they speak, because they are trying to create perfect English inside their mind. But real English does not work like that. Real English is simple. Real English is fast. Real English is natural. Let me show you the difference. Imagine you wake up in the morning. Now, what do many learners do? They try to think something like this. I am currently experiencing a feeling of tiredness because I did not get enough rest during the previous night. Now, maybe this sentence is not wrong, but is it natural? Is it easy? Is it fast? No. Now look at simple thinking. I am tired. I did not sleep well. That is it. That is enough. That is real English. And this is exactly what you need to train. Because daily conversation is not built from big, perfect sentences. It is built from small, simple thoughts. Now listen carefully. This is a very powerful point. If your thoughts are simple, your speech becomes easy. If your thoughts are complicated, your speech becomes slow. So the goal is not to sound impressive. The goal is to sound natural. Now let us go deeper. Thinking in simple English means you stop trying to translate your entire life from your native language. This habit is one of the biggest problems. Because when you think in your own language first and then translate, your brain is doing double work. And because of that, your speaking becomes slow and stressful. So what should you do instead? Start thinking directly in very small English thoughts. For example, when you open your eyes in the morning, do not think a big sentence. Just think, I am awake. I feel sleepy. I need water. When you are eating food, think, this is good. This is spicy. I like this. When you are working, think, I am busy. This is difficult. I need focus. When you are tired, think, I need rest. I feel tired. I will sleep early. Look at these thoughts. They are small. They are simple. They are real. And that is exactly why they are powerful. Because these are the kinds of thoughts you use in daily life. Now here comes a very important realization moment. Many learners think simple English is weak English, but that is not true. Simple English is strong English. Because if you can use simple English quickly and clearly, you can communicate much better than someone who knows difficult English but cannot speak at the right time. Let me give you a real example. Imagine someone asks you, how was your day? Now a learner who wants perfect English may start thinking too much. They may stay silent. They may panic. But a learner who thinks in simple English can answer immediately. It was good, a little busy. I am tired now. That is simple. But it is natural. It keeps the conversation moving. And that is what real communication looks like. Now let us talk about how you can practice this in your daily life. Because understanding is not enough. You must practice. Practice 1. Start your day with simple English thoughts. When you wake up, do not touch your phone immediately. First, create 5 small English thoughts. I am awake. I feel sleepy. Today is busy. I need to get up. Let me start. This takes less than 1 minute, but it starts training your brain from the morning. Practice 2. Describe your actions. Throughout the day, think or speak small English lines about what you are doing. I am brushing my teeth. I am making tea. I am going outside. I am sitting. I am working. This connects English with real life. And when English connects with your life, it becomes natural. Practice 3. Describe your feelings. This is very important because real conversation is not only about actions, it is also about feelings. I am happy. I feel stressed. I am confused. I feel better now. I am excited. When you can express feelings simply, your English becomes more human. Practice 4. Keep your thoughts small. Do not make them big. Do not make them heavy. Instead of thinking, I am experiencing a lot of stress due to my responsibilities, just think, I feel stressed. I have a lot of work. This makes your thinking faster and lighter. Practice 5. Speak your thoughts aloud. Thinking is good, but speaking is stronger. So, whenever possible, say your thoughts. I need water. I am tired. This is nice. I will do it later. This trains both your mind and your mouth together. Now here is something very important you must remember. Do not wait until you know enough English. Start now, because fluency does not come first. Practice comes first. Confidence does not come first. Usage comes first. The more you use simple English, the more natural it becomes. And slowly, your simple English will grow into stronger English. Another important truth: simple thinking reduces fear because your brain does not feel pressure. When your thoughts are small, you feel safe. When you feel safe, you speak more. When you speak more, you improve faster. This is the real cycle of fluency. So from today, change your goal. Do not say, "I want to speak perfect English." Say, "I want to think simple English quickly." This is a smarter goal. This is a practical goal. This is a real goal. And remember this line very clearly. Fluency is not about thinking big. Fluency is about thinking simple and using it without fear. So start today. Start small. Start simple. Because the moment your English becomes simple inside your mind, it will start becoming natural in your life. Chapter 3. Now let us move to the next step. And this step is where your thinking finally starts turning into real speaking. So listen very carefully, because this is the point where many learners either move forward or get stuck again. In the last chapter, you learned how to think in simple English. Not perfect, not complicated, just simple, real thoughts. But now comes the next challenge. When it is time to speak, many learners again make a big mistake. They try to speak in long sentences. Yes, this is one of the biggest hidden problems. They think, if I speak long sentences, I will sound more fluent. I will sound more advanced. People will think my English is strong. But the reality is completely different. Long sentences do not make you sound fluent. Long sentences make you slow, confused, and nervous. Let me explain this very clearly. When you try to speak a long sentence, your brain has to do many things at the same time. You have to think about grammar. You have to choose words. You have to connect ideas. You have to remember what you said at the beginning while still finishing the sentence. That is too much pressure for real conversation. And because of that pressure, something goes wrong. You forget words. You stop in the middle. You make mistakes. You lose confidence. And sometimes, you stop speaking completely. This is why long sentences are dangerous for learners. Now here comes the powerful shift. You do not need long sentences to sound fluent. You need clear sentences to sound natural. And clear sentences are short sentences. Yes, this is the real secret. If you want to speak English more easily, more confidently, and more naturally, you must start using short and clear sentences. Now let me show you a simple example. Imagine you want to say something about your day. Many learners try to say everything in one long sentence like this. Yesterday I was very busy because I had a lot of work to complete, and after finishing my work I went to meet my friend, and then we talked for a long time, and after that I came back home late. Now maybe this sentence is correct, but is it easy to say? Is it comfortable? Is it natural in real conversation? No. Now look at the same idea in a better way. Yesterday I was very busy. I had a lot of work. After that, I met my friend. We talked for some time. Then I came home late. Look at the difference. Same meaning, same story. But now it is easier to say, easier to understand, easier to remember. and most importantly, easier to speak with confidence. This is exactly how real conversations work. People do not speak in long, perfect paragraphs. They speak in small parts, one idea at a time, one sentence at a time. And this is the habit you need to build. Now listen to this rule. This is very important. One thought, one sentence. Do not try to carry too many ideas in one line. Say one idea clearly, then move to the next idea. This makes your speaking smooth. This makes your mind relaxed. This makes your confidence strong. Now let us go deeper. Why do short sentences help so much? Because fluency is not only about language, it is also about comfort. When your sentence is short, your brain feels safe. It does not feel overloaded. It does not feel stressed. And when your brain feels safe, your speaking becomes natural. But when your sentence is long, your brain feels pressure. And when your brain feels pressure, your speaking becomes slow. So if you want to improve your speaking, do not focus on making your English bigger. Focus on making your English clearer. Now let me give you another powerful example. Imagine someone asks you, "What are your plans for today?" A learner who tries long sentences may struggle like this. Today, I am planning that first I will complete my office work, and then after that, I will try to go outside for some time if I get free time. Now this is heavy. This is stressful. This is difficult to say naturally. Now look at the short version. Today I will finish my work. Then I will go outside if I have time. Simple, clear, natural. And this is exactly how you must train your speaking. Now let us talk about how to practice this in your daily life. Because again, understanding is not enough. You must use it. Practice 1. Break long thoughts into small sentences. Whenever you have a long idea, do not say it in one line. Break it. For example, long thought. I wanted to study English last night, but I felt sleepy, so I decided to sleep early. Short version. I wanted to study English last night, but I felt sleepy, so I slept early. Practice this again and again. This trains your brain to stay light. Practice 2. Tell your daily routine in short sentences. At night, take 1 minute and describe your day. I woke up late. I felt tired. I had tea. Then I started work. The day was busy, but I finished my tasks. This is a very powerful exercise because it builds control in speaking. Practice 3. Use pauses without fear. Many learners think pausing is a weakness, but that is not true. Small pauses are natural. They give your brain time. They make your speech more relaxed. For example, I was tired, so I stayed home, and honestly, I felt better. That small pause is not wrong. It is natural. Practice 4. Record yourself. Take a simple topic like your day, your room, your plans, or your feelings. Then speak for 1 minute using only short sentences. When you listen to your recording, you will notice something. Your speech sounds clearer. Your voice sounds more confident. Now here is something very important you must understand. Short sentences do not mean weak English. Short sentences mean controlled English. And controlled English is powerful English. Because a person who speaks clearly in short sentences is always easier to understand than a person who tries to speak long sentences but keeps stopping again and again. So from today, stop asking, how can I sound more advanced? Start asking, how can I sound more clear? That one change can improve your speaking faster than anything else. And remember this line. This is very powerful. Fluency is not about how long you speak. Fluency is about how clearly you speak. So keep it simple. Keep it short. Keep it real. Because when your sentences become shorter, your confidence becomes stronger. And when your confidence becomes stronger, your English starts sounding natural automatically. Chapter 4. Now we are moving to one of the most powerful steps in your journey. And honestly, this step can change your speaking speed faster than anything else. So stay very focused, because what you are about to learn now is something most learners completely ignore. Up to this point, you have learned how to think in simple English. You have learned how to speak in short and clear sentences. But now comes the real secret of natural English. You do not speak English word by word. You speak English in phrases. Yes, this is the big difference between learners and natural speakers. Most learners build sentences slowly, one word at a time. They think, they search, they arrange, they translate. And because of that, their speaking becomes slow and heavy. But natural speakers do not build sentences like that. They use ready-made pieces of language, small groups of words that come out automatically. These are called phrases. And if you want to sound natural, you must start using these phrases in your daily speaking. Now let me show you something very interesting. Imagine someone says something to you, and you want to respond. A learner who thinks word by word may struggle like this. I understand what you are saying. That is correct. But a natural speaker will often say something like, I get it. That makes sense. See the difference. Both are correct, but one sounds like a textbook. The other sounds like real conversation. And this is exactly what you need to build. Because real English is not about big grammar. Real English is about small, repeated, natural phrases. Now listen carefully. This is very important. A person who knows 500 useful phrases can often speak better than a person who knows 5,000 random words. Because speaking is not about how many words you know. It is about how quickly you can use what you know. And phrases help you do that. They save your time. They reduce your thinking. They make your speaking faster. And they make your English sound alive. Now let us go deeper into this. There are many types of phrases that you can start using in daily life. And once you start using them again and again, they become automatic. First, greeting phrases. What's up? How's it going? Good to see you. Nice to hear from you. These are very common, very simple, but very natural. Second, reaction phrases. Really? No way. That's great. That makes sense. I get it. These help you respond quickly in conversation. Third, time phrases. Give me a second. I'll be there soon. I'm on my way. I'll do it later. These are used every day in real life. Fourth, feeling phrases. I'm tired. I'm not in the mood. I feel better now. I'm a little stressed. I'm excited. These make your English more human. Fifth, thinking phrases. Let me think. I'm not sure. Maybe. I guess so. It depends. These give you time and make your speaking natural. Now here is something very important. Do not try to learn too many phrases at once. That will confuse you. That will overload your brain. Instead, learn a few phrases and use them again and again. Because repetition creates fluency. Let me show you how to practice this step by step. Practice 1. Learn 5 phrases every week. Just 5, not 50, not 100, only 5. For example, I'm on my way. Give me a second. I'm not sure. That makes sense. I'll do it later. Now use these 5 phrases every day. Speak them, repeat them. Imagine situations with them. This is how they move from memory into your real speaking. Practice 2. Use one phrase in many situations. For example, take the phrase, "That makes sense." Now use it again and again. You are tired today. That makes sense. You studied all night. That makes sense. You don't want to go out. That makes sense. This builds natural usage. Practice 3. Replace textbook sentences with real phrases. Instead of always saying, "I do not know," also say, "I'm not sure." "No idea." "I have no clue." This gives your English more life, more variety, more natural feeling. Practice 4. Group phrases by situation. Make small groups like greeting, daily actions, phone calls, feelings, and reactions. This makes phrases easier to remember because they connect with real-life situations. Now here comes a very powerful realization. You do not become fluent by learning more grammar rules. You become fluent by using language faster and more naturally. And phrases help you do exactly that. Because when you use phrases, you do not need to think about every word. The sentence comes out as one piece. And when sentences come out as one piece, your speaking becomes smooth. Now imagine this. Someone asks you something, and instead of thinking for 5 seconds, you respond immediately. Give me a second. I'm on my way. I'm not sure. That sounds good. That is natural English. That is confident English. That is real communication. And this is where your English starts feeling alive. Now remember this clearly. Do not learn phrases just to remember them. Learn phrases to use them. Because there is a big difference between knowing something and using something. Your goal is not passive English. Your goal is active English. The kind of English that comes out of your mouth without fear, without delay, without overthinking. So from today, stop learning only single words. Start learning small groups of words. Start learning phrases. Start using them in your daily life. Because the more phrases you use, the faster your English will move. The more natural your speaking will feel. And slowly, you will notice something amazing. You will stop building sentences. You will start speaking naturally, and that is the real goal. Chapter 5. Now we are coming to one of the most important turning points in your journey. And this is the step where everything you have learned so far either becomes powerful or becomes useless. So listen very carefully. Do not take this lightly, because this step decides whether you stay stuck or you finally start moving forward. Up to now, you have learned how to think in simple English. You have learned how to speak in short sentences. You have learned how to use real daily phrases. But even after learning all this, many learners still struggle in real conversations. Do you know why? Because they think too much before speaking. Yes, this is the real problem now. Overthinking. And this one habit is silently destroying your fluency again and again. Let me explain this very clearly. In real conversation, you do not have a lot of time. You do not have 10 seconds to build a perfect sentence. You do not have time to check grammar again and again. You have only 1 or 2 seconds to respond. And if you do not respond in that moment, something happens. The conversation moves forward. The moment is gone, and your confidence drops. This is exactly what happens with many learners. They know what they want to say. They understand the situation. But inside their mind, a small delay begins. How should I say this? Is this correct? Which tense should I use? What if I make a mistake? And in that small delay, everything breaks. Now listen carefully. This is very important. Fluency is not about thinking longer. Fluency is about reacting faster. Yes, this is the shift you need to make. Because real communication is not perfect communication. Real communication is fast and natural reaction. Let me show you a simple example. Someone asks you, "How was your day?" An overthinking learner will freeze. They will start building a perfect answer. They will take time. They may stay silent. But a natural speaker will respond immediately. "It was good, a little busy, but I am fine now." Simple, fast, real. And that is exactly what you need to train. Now here comes the powerful truth. Slow, perfect English sounds weak. Fast, simple English sounds natural. So your goal is not to speak perfectly. Your goal is to speak quickly and clearly. Now you may ask, how do I train myself to react fast? Let me show you step by step. Practice 1. Force quick answers. Whenever you hear a question, do not wait. Answer immediately, even if your answer is small, even if your answer is not perfect. For example, what are you doing? I am working. Are you free? Not now. Do you like it? Yes, it is nice. These are small answers, but they build speed, and speed builds fluency. Practice 2. Use simple backup phrases. Sometimes you need a little time to think. That is normal. So instead of staying silent, use phrases like, "Let me think. Give me a second. I am not sure." These phrases keep the conversation alive while your brain prepares the next idea. Practice 3. Train your brain daily. Ask yourself simple questions and answer them immediately. What did I do today? I worked, I studied, I went outside. What will I do tomorrow? I will work, I will rest, I will practice English. Do this every day. This builds reaction speed inside your brain. Practice 4. Do not correct yourself too much while speaking. Many learners speak one sentence and then stop to fix it. I went to, no. I have gone to, no. I mean, this breaks your flow. This kills your confidence. Instead, keep speaking. If there is a mistake, let it go. Because in real conversation, flow is more important than perfection. Practice 5. Accept small mistakes. This is very important. If you are afraid of making mistakes, you will always think too much. And if you think too much, you will never speak fast. So change your mindset. Do not say, I must speak perfectly. Say, I must speak freely. This one change will remove a lot of pressure from your mind. Now let me tell you something very honestly. Even native speakers do not speak perfectly all the time. They forget words, they change sentences, they correct themselves, but they keep speaking. That is why they sound natural, because they do not stop. And this is exactly what you need to learn. Keep speaking, keep moving, keep expressing. Now imagine this situation. Someone talks to you, and this time, instead of staying silent, you respond immediately. Not perfect, but real. I think so. Maybe. I am not sure. That sounds good? Now the conversation continues. Now you feel involved. Now your confidence starts growing. And slowly, this becomes your new habit. You stop waiting. You start reacting. This is the moment where your English starts becoming active. Now remember this line. This is very powerful. The faster you react, the more fluent you become. Because fluency is not built in silence. Fluency is built in action. So from today, stop giving your brain too much time. Give your brain a simple rule. Here, think small, speak fast. That is it. And if you practice this daily, something amazing will happen. Your hesitation will become smaller. Your reactions will become faster. Your confidence will become stronger. And one day, you will notice something beautiful. You are no longer afraid to speak. You are no longer waiting for perfect sentences. You are simply expressing yourself. And that is real fluency. Chapter 6. Now we have reached the final chapter. And this is not just another step. This is the moment where everything comes together. Everything you have learned until now will finally start becoming a real part of your life. So stay with me very carefully, because this chapter can change the way you see your English forever. Up to this point, you have learned how to think in simple English. You have learned how to speak in short and clear sentences. You have learned how to use real phrases. You have learned how to react fast without overthinking. But now comes the biggest question. How do you continue this journey every single day without stopping? Because the truth is very simple. If you do not practice daily, you will not grow. If you wait for the perfect situation, you will stay stuck. So now we are going to build something very powerful. A daily system. A simple routine that you can follow anywhere, anytime, without any partner, without any pressure. And here is the best part. You do not need a teacher. You do not need a classroom. You do not need a special environment. You only need two things, your mind and your voice. Yes, that is enough. Now listen carefully. This is one of the most powerful habits you can build. Talk to yourself in English every day. Yes, it may sound strange in the beginning. It may feel uncomfortable. You may feel shy even when you are alone. But this habit can completely change your fluency. Because when you talk to yourself, something important happens. You remove fear. You increase practice time. You build confidence slowly. And most importantly, you create a safe space where you can speak without judgment. Now let me show you how to do it. In the morning when you wake up, start speaking simple lines. I am awake. I feel sleepy. I need to get up. Today will be busy. In the afternoon, when you are working or doing something, speak small thoughts. I am working now. This is difficult. I need focus. Let me finish this. At night, before sleeping, talk about your day. Today was busy. I did many things. I feel tired. But I am okay. This is not difficult. This is not heavy. This is simple. But if you do this every day, your English will start becoming natural. Now here comes the next important part. Stop being afraid of mistakes. This is one of the biggest reasons learners do not improve. They are afraid. They think, what if I say something wrong? What if people laugh? What if my English is not perfect? And because of this fear, they stay silent. But listen very carefully. If you are afraid of mistakes, you will never speak freely. And if you never speak freely, you will never become fluent. So you must change your mindset. Do not say, I must speak perfect English. Say, I must speak without fear. This one change is very powerful. Because mistakes are not your enemy. Mistakes are your training. Every time you make a mistake, you learn something. Every time you speak, you improve something. But every time you stay silent, nothing changes. So from today, speak. Even if your voice shakes. Even if your sentence is not perfect. Even if you are not confident. Because confidence does not come first. Speaking comes first. Now let us go deeper into one more important point. Emotion. This is where your English becomes alive. Many learners speak in a flat way. No feeling, no energy, no expression. And because of that, even correct English sounds weak. But real communication has emotion. When you are happy, your voice changes. When you are tired, your voice changes. When you are excited, your voice changes. And this is what makes your English sound natural. Let me show you a simple example. Without emotion. I am tired. With emotion. I am really tired. Without emotion. That was good. With emotion. That was really good. Can you feel the difference? This is not about grammar. This is about expression. And expression makes your English more human. So start practicing this. Take one simple sentence and say it in different ways. I am okay. I am okay. Happy. I am okay. Tired. I am okay. Sad. This builds your speaking power in a very natural way. Now imagine this version of you. You wake up and think in English. You speak in short sentences. You use real phrases. You respond quickly. You practice daily. You're not afraid of mistakes. You speak with emotion. This is not a dream. This is a system. And if you follow this system every day, slowly, step by step, your English will start changing. At first, maybe your sentences will be small. At first, maybe your voice will shake. At first, maybe you will feel unsure. That is normal. Because that is how growth begins. But if you stay consistent, something powerful will happen. Your thoughts will become faster. Your speaking will become smoother. Your confidence will become stronger. And one day, without even realizing it, you will notice something beautiful. You are no longer afraid to speak. You are no longer translating in your head. You are simply expressing yourself. And that is the moment where English stops being a subject and becomes a part of your life. So remember this final message. Fluency is not about being perfect. Fluency is about being consistent. Speak every day. Think every day. Practice every day, and slowly, your English will become natural. This is your journey, and it starts now.